Now let's add the second sheet, and in the second sheet we are going to add the exploded view and bill of materials. So for that, I'll simply click here for a new sheet and give it a name. So let's just call it exploded view. And you can just select a scale for this one. I'll leave 1:10 scale and select NCB sheet and apply changes. Here we have it. Now I'm going to start with the exploded view. So simply go to the view palette and select isometric view. Now, if you don't have exploded view, that's totally fine. We've already built it into the configuration which we'll use. So I'll just drag it and drop it. Now the scale is really very tiny, so we'll fix that. But before that, let's change the configuration. As you can see, this is not the one which we need. So just go to this reference configuration and select default. Now default won't show you the exploded view, but once you select default, it will highlight this checkbox. Select it. And now we have the exploded view. Here you can see that we have an exploded view that's going to show up, and well, that's what we have. Now you can change the visual style if you want, and you can also change the scale. I think I should change that to 1:8 or maybe 1:5, but that's going to be big. So I'll just change that to 1:8. So 1:8, press tab key, and here we are. With that, I'll simply click OK. So we have this exploded view. Now let's add bill of material. And using bill of material, you can actually add all the information related to this assembly and its components. Now the bill of material is available in the annotation command manager inside the tables option. Select it, and here we have it, bill of material. Now select the view. In this case, this is the view for which we want to add the bill of material. So select the view, and now the bill of material option will show up. Well, there are several options. So let's start with the first one, which is table template. Select it. It's going to select BOM-standard template, which is the standard one. You can of course change that using this star icon. So click here, and this will show you all the other templates that we have for bill of material or BOM. So here we have the BOM-standard, which is being used right now, but you can select other templates. Now all these templates will only show different properties which you can also add manually. So it's not going to make significant difference because we will be making changes anyway after inserting the bill of material. So I'll simply cancel it out and close it. Now the next is table position. Where do you want to place it? Well, I'll select this upper right corner so that the bill of material snaps to this point. Now, if you already have an anchor point for bill of material, you can check this and bill of material will automatically snap to that point if you have built it anywhere. We don't have it, so I'll uncheck it. Then we have the bill of material type, and there are three types of bill of material. So we have top level, parts only, and indented. Now the top level will just add bill of material as it is in the assembly, which means it will simply add the top level components and sub-assemblies. So the assembly here, the channel assembly, the drawer channel will be added as one single component. Then we have all of these panels which are well collected into one single sub-assembly. So SolidWorks will treat it as just one single component. So that's the top level only. If you select parts only, it's going to select all the parts individually. So if you have several parts inside a sub-assembly, it will add every single component in its list. Of course, it will just ignore the copies. For example, if you have several screws in your drawing, it's not going to add 6 screws if you have 6 of them. It's going to add just one, and it will add number of instances in a separate column. But if you happen to have several parts inside a sub-assembly, it's just going to list components individually. And then we have indented. Indented will simply add bill of material with the list as it is in the assembly, which means it will give a completely distinct name to your sub-assemblies, and it will add it in a proper hierarchy. Now let me show you what this thing is. So first, let's start with top level, and I'm not going to select anything else. I'll simply click OK, and let's just move it here. As you can see, the list is quite small, and these are all the components here with top level. So we have cabinet assembly, which is a complete assembly containing several components. Then we have drawer channel, again with several components. We have drawer channel, and there are 2 drawer channels, one on left, one on right, but every single drawer channel has several components, which is well not available in this bill of material. Then we have hinge assembly. One hinge assembly contains several screws, then 2 hinge parts, and well, there are other components, but again, it is shown as just one single component. So that's the problem with this one. All right, now let's just delete this. So I'll just select it, and you can actually select the bill of material using this icon right here. So select and press delete key. Now go to table, bill of material, and once again select the view. And now I'll select parts only, and everything else is exactly the same. So select OK. And as you can see, the list is now well larger. In this case, it is including every single component. So all the components are added, and here we have the left panel. It's just once. Right panel, there is one right panel, top panel one, and so on. But there are several components where we have more than one instances. For example, we have 24 hinge screws. So it's going to show up here like this. And then finally, we have the indented. So let's just select that. So I'll just go to tables, bill of material, once again select the view, and now indented. Click OK. And here in the indented, we have options of selecting either, well, no numbering. You can actually select a detailed numbering or simply flat numbering. When you select flat numbering, it will just add 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. When you select detail, it will add decimal separator for every single subassembly component. Here, maybe let's select detailed numbering and then click OK. And this is what we have. Now, as you can see, we have 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 4, 5, and 6. And these are all parts of one single subassembly. Then we have subassembly number 2 with all of these components, subassembly number 3 with this kind of nomenclature, and then finally we have all the other separate components, and that's indented. It's going to add the top level assembly, that's this one, and all of its part right underneath this. Now, if you want to understand this clearly, then you can actually do that simply by expanding this bill of material. So click here and the bill of material will expand, and you can now see the order of assembly. So that's the top level assembly. As you can see here, we have the preview with all of these separate components, and these are the separate components. Simply hovering here will also show the preview. Then we have the top level here, select, and that's going to show up. Now that's the complete channel, and these are the separate components. Again, the top level and its components, and all of these separate components too. So that's how you can actually see the assembly and its components. And of course, you can hide it if you just don't want to show all the subcomponents of an assembly. Well, you can just collapse it, and now it's going to show only the top level assembly. All right, in this case, let's not use indented as well, and rather I'll simply select all the parts for our assembly. Once again, go to tables, bill of material, select the view, and select parts only so that all the parts are listed. Now we have option of selecting the configurations. So if you want to select a specific configuration from this list for your bill of material, then you can select it. Here, it doesn't matter, so I'll just leave it. Then we have the part configuration grouping. Now, if you have configurations, then how do you want SolidWorks to read components in different configurations? That's what this option is all about. So currently, display as one item number is checked because all the configurations won't be treated as separate item numbers. So that's what this is. Now, there are some options like this one. Here, if you select this, SolidWorks will display configuration of the same part as separate items. So if an item has two different configurations, SolidWorks will treat it as two separate items. Well, definitely we don't want it. We don't want SolidWorks to use same item twice if we have several configurations. And if that's what you want, then select this option. Display all configuration of the same part as one item. So what this will do essentially is it will just count all the configurations of a part as one single item. That's what we want. And then we have finally this one where if the name is same, it will count it as one item, else it won't. So this is the best option for our example. We don't want to count configurations as separate parts. Now, if you have missing components, you can check this one, and SolidWorks will include that component in your bill of material. If you want to strike through the component name or its detail, you can check this one. Well, we don't want to include any missing items, so I'll keep it unchecked. Then we have item numbers. Now, how do you want to start this? Well, currently it will start at 1, and then at the increment of 1, the numbers will change. If you don't want it to start at 1, if you want it to start at maybe 2, 3, whatever number, just put it here and then add the increments. Also, you can change these numbers later, but if you want to lock it, well, select it, and now it won't let you change the item number. Then finally, we have bill of material border settings, that's here. And here you can change the border thickness for outside and for inside. If you want to set it on a layer, that's here. And finally, if you want to add all the text in bill of material in uppercase, select this. Maybe we'll keep it checked. With that, I'll click OK. And finally, we have the bill of material here. Let's place it.